What's good, my people? Welcome into Buckets, Action Network's daily NBA betting podcast. We're in the workshop Tuesday, NBA slate December 23rd, but we record it on Monday, December 22nd, 12 Eastern Standard Time. I'm your host, Sean Little. I'm with a couple of the guys. The market manipulator, Michael Fiddle, at Fiddle's Picks. Go follow the man. Our most nimble, flexible, knowledgeable man across all sports, Bryan Fonseca, at Bryan Fonseca NY, and the prop master, Joe Dellera. You know all the guys, and you know how we do. We get the play, we get the cap, we get you guys out of here. We are presented by DraftKings. The crown is yours. We'll go through a little of what did we learn this week, tonight. 3-star, 2-star, 1-star. We got our best plays for King of the Court over at DraftKings. Go subscribe to the Action Network YouTube page. If you're listening to this only, you got to watch the video. We have tons of fun on YouTube. Fiddle, what's happening, baby? How are you?
I'm doing well. I just watched a Pelicans +1 and a Pelicans Mavericks under get home. I was doing that thing where I was just, trying to make a deal with myself where I was like, I got 2 plays on this game. Just get me one of them. I don't care. I'll go 1-1. It was looking kind of hairy. To end up going 2-0 makes you feel real good after the game. I had way too much money on a Pelicans Mavericks game and not even bothered watching any of Monday Night Football. Instead was listening to the best announcer in the NBA, Antonio Daniels, and watching the Pelicans games.
Hey, sometimes you just got to pay the juice man and hope for the split. But when you go 2-0, it's a better feeling. Pelicans have won 4 straight games. 5 straight. 5 straight games for the Pelicans. Excuse me. Bryan Fonseca, what's going on?
2-1 so far, and I need to split, either get Wendell Carter Jr. or Isaiah Stewart, but I might go 0-2 because Isaiah Stewart just doesn't want to score tonight, which is cool. Awesome. I hate this sport.
Stu's not a bucket getter all the time. So, sometimes you gotta go out on a limb. That's where the fruit is.
I mean, lately
not
he
always
has
the
been.
most ethical,
Lately he has been. lately he's been getting to it. But of course, I mean, this is just listen, it's an 82 game season, but it's also a 6-month season. So those of you who don't actually do this and complain when things don't go your way after a half need to be in this for the long haul, or you don't. You could just not do this. So sometimes you just got to ride it out, see what happens.
Hey, we're in for a fun show, man. Fonseca been fired up before we went live. So buckle up. We're going to have a good time here on Buckets. Joe Dellera, say what's up to the people, and then jump in and tell me what you learned this week and tonight in the NBA.
What's good, everybody? I think my cough might actually be almost gone. So we're about to get cooking. I think that we're feeling good. I finally got to work out this morning. I was like, oh my God, I'm getting back, so it feels good. We're having a good day, and hopefully we can complete our 2nd consecutive sweep. That would be sick. So we need a little bit of action from Asar Thompson. I think they're at halftime now. So hopefully you can just pick up a couple more PRA and we'll be set. So happy about that. And from what I learned in the NBA today, I think that me and Brian were just right yesterday. The Cavs suck. So Cavs are frauds. So
Hornets back door, baby.
Yeah, I think we might have picked that one up. So we shall see, but excited for this literal monster size slate on Tuesday.
Yeah, we got a bunch of games to go through and pick plays from as we get into that Christmas Day slate as well, which will be a lot of fun. This is that stretch of the schedule where there's no letting up. This is about the people. This is about getting primetime games all day, all night, so people can watch hoop. They don't care about your back-to-back schedule, your 3 games in 4 days schedule. Adam Silver's not interested. He's about getting people to watch hoop while they're at the crib. Michael Fiddle, what did we learn in the NBA this week?
Basketball-wise, I think Pelicans are a rim protector away from actually being competitive. Obviously, they need to get a little bit healthier with DeJounte still out, but getting Zion back, and he's even coming off the bench now, getting Jordan Poole back, also coming off the bench. They're a really deep team. So I just think they're a rim protector away from being actually a kind of formidable and serious team. I love the new coach. I love that James Brago's taken over for Willie Green there. So big fan of that change for this team. The only thing that they're really letting up is just a ton of rim penetration. A lot of guys on the perimeter get beat, and they don't have anyone to slide over for help defense. So I would say Pelicans need a rim protector as my basketball big takeaway. And betting wise, I would say as we get towards Christmas and we're on the last day of before Christmas, obviously there's no NBA games on Christmas Eve. The main thing for handicapping this upcoming slate, and it's true every year, so write it down in your notebook and prepare it for next year, is getting the injury report right and understanding team tendencies, player tendencies for a lot of these spots. Getting the injury report right is so critical because there are teams like the Mavericks, the Nuggets who play tomorrow, and then also they both play on Christmas. So they'll be back-to-back and then 3 and 4 on Christmas in the spotlight. So how do they handle some of their injury reports? There's other teams who have a potential to give their guys a full week break if they play Monday and then they give the off guy on Tuesday and they don't come back till Friday. So it's like, how does each team handle this injury reporting? It's always so critical in this spot. So I'm always listening to coach interviews. I'm really plugged in to beat reporters right now. And so how the injury news shakes out tomorrow is going to make or break getting good value on this slate.
Yeah, and the next couple days. And to go back to the Pelicans, they started 3-22. They've ripped off 5 in a row. Sadiq Bey has been unbelievable. Jeremiah Fears has been awesome. We know Derek Queen has been playing at a high level for a while now. Trey Murphy III has been on fire. So you can laugh if you want. 5 straight wins, one of those wins against the Houston Rockets. So have fun. Stay tuned. Go watch the Pelicans. They've actually been a really fun squad to watch with Zion or without. So it's a good call out there, Michael Fiddle. Bryan Fonseca, what have we learned?
I don't know if this counts as a what have we learned, but I do want to shout out a couple of under the radar rookies that I think we're going to start to see more of. One is Jace Richardson in Orlando. Tyus Jones, it's over. Like, I don't know what expectations we have left, but again, as I've said multiple times on this show, if you're somebody who myself and Kyle Murray and potentially others here feel comfortable betting under PRA 11.5 in games that you're starting and hitting that bet, it's probably over. Jace Richardson is going to be a factor for this team as long as they're shorthanded. He was a first-round pick that I liked coming out of Michigan State. He is the son of Jason Richardson, one of the best dunkers of all time. Also beyond that, just a really solid NBA player. I wouldn't say he's that type of athlete, but he was a knockdown shooter at Michigan State, solid guard. I think we're going to see more of him. He does have some athleticism as well. And defensively, I think there are some tools there that are interesting. So he's been playing more minutes. Even in this game tonight, he has 7 points in 9 minutes, as I have the Warriors game on against Orlando right here. Had 10 in the last game against Utah. So I think we'll see more of him. And then Kasparas Jakučionis from the Heat, who's starting to play a little bit more as Tyler Hero again is injured with a toe injury, who's missed basically 80% of the Heat games so far this year. Don't know how long he's going to be out for. Before this, he had a separate injury where he had a procedure done on his foot. Now it's a toe injury. So Kasparas Jakučionis finally played. He had 17 points in a just random start, 17.6 rebounds, 4 assists in a random start against the Celtics a few days ago. Didn't play much and didn't play that well against the Knicks, but he's another guy to sort of keep your eye out for. And then even tonight, I would say Liam McNeely is somebody you might see a little bit more of as the Hornets. Like maybe they, Colin Sexton's hurt right now. Maybe they sell off a couple of guys and you start to see him more. I've talked about the Hornets rookies already, but he's maybe somebody else who gets playing time. So as they get more relevant and their props start to pop, I will be on that during the season so far because some rookie value is always nice. And I think all those guys could be decent NBA players, if not better than that. Yeah,
that's well said. And to go back to the Heat, I don't know what's going on over there. 1-7 in their last 8. The high-powered, full-pace, full-throttle offense has completely fallen off a cliff the last couple weeks. And I'm excited to see how Spo navigates that because I don't know if it's just the style is very difficult to upkeep that type of pace, that rigor for the first full half of the season. But without question, they look like a completely different team.
It's also
over the last 8-9 games.
Real quick, it's also like part of it's just personnel.
Yeah.
Like, I think it's that too. And, it's hard to sustain. The offense got kind of predictable, and now they need a second win, so to speak. I also want to say about Yakuchonis, voted 17% of GMs, by 17% of GMs, the biggest steal at where he was selected in the draft this year. He was 20th overall. Hasn't really played shit until recently. So keep your eye out for him.
All right, here we go. You know what time it is. This is why you're here. 3-star plays coming up. But first, let's get a message from our guy, Matt Moore.
The Buckets podcast is sponsored by DraftKings Sportsbook. And in partnership with DraftKings, our listeners get a great offer. Right now, new customers can bet $5 and get $200 back in bonus bets if your bet wins. If sports betting is not yet available in your state, don't worry. You can still join in on all the fun with DraftKings Daily Fantasy Sports and have a shot to win cash prizes. To get started, use promo code BUCKETSNBA when signing up with DraftKings. Again, use code BUCKETSNBA when signing up and bet $5 to get $200 back in bonus bets if your bet wins. The crown is yours.
Promo code is Buckets NBA. Use it over at DraftKings. Go get that promo, cash in on that ASAP. All right, 3-star plays. Let's get straight to it. I'm going to come to you, Joe Dellera, first, because I think this is a fun-ass matchup. And if you watched the game the other night, it finished over 300 total points scored. The halftime number was in like the 140s, 150s, I believe. I can't remember off the top of my head, but I watched it front to back, and it was an offensive onslaught. It was a lot of fun to watch. Bulls get the dub. We're back to Trae Young. You guys were talking about him to lead the show. Dellera, why are you looking at an over here?
Yeah, dude, I'm just going right back to Trae Young. I was on his assist straight last game, over 8.5. I got it at plus money. I'm going to actually add in the points here. He's been fantastic against Chicago historically. Part of why I wanted to only target the assist last game was I wasn't really sure what his minutes were going to look like. We did see an uptick from 20 in his first game back against the Hornets to 26. I think that we're probably going to just see a progressive uptick. Maybe we see 30 in this game before the holiday, with a couple of days off afterwards. So he put up 44 PA. He had 35 points, 9 dimes on 14 potentials, but he's historically done extremely well against Chicago. This season, he's got 44 and 38 PA. And I like adding, for him, I like the combo prop because he has, ceiling in both stats. He can score, he can go off for 30 points. He also can go and have like basically a 20 dime game. And we've seen that from him even this season. The last game, 35 and 9, the game earlier, 21 and 17. Even dating back over the past couple of seasons, for the last 3 years, his low against Chicago is he had one game at 30 PA. Outside of that, he's gone over this 30.5 in 7 of 8 games, averaging 36.1 points plus assists against Chicago. Obviously, some of those games are a little bit different in terms of what his minutes are. So I do think that the projection is a little bit narrower, but this is a great matchup. We just saw a ton of offense the other day. And the counter to Trae scoring that many points against you is what? You're going to cover him a little bit tighter. Trae's going to dime on you all day. It's not going to be an issue. So I think that's kind of what had happened in this game as well. So I think it's going to be a very tough cover. And for a guy like Trae Young, he's a veteran. He's, now seen this matchup before. He's getting to play them again. I think that this is an excellent spot for him to be able to pick apart this relatively weak Chicago Bulls defense again for a couple days off. So I like Trae Young in the combo prop of over 30.5 points plus assists.
Yeah, man, he scored 35 points in 26 minutes. He was absolutely tortured.
It was insane.
The Bulls the other night. It was insane. 7 of 9 from deep. He was distributing as well. It was a really fun game to watch. I know a lot of purists were probably on full tilt watching, but if you're just trying to enjoy a basketball game and have fun, that was the game to watch. And Trae Young is going to be the guy that, is the trigger man once again. Keep an eye on the minutes. Hopefully he plays something similar. He should still be able to go over this number if he plays even less than 30 minutes. Maybe they open him up a little bit and he gets to the 30-minute mark. Then I love this spot for Trae Young against the Chicago Bulls. Fiddle, any thoughts here on this game? 302, 152, 150. Total over at DraftKings right now sits at 254. I'm not sure what it closed at the other night. Maybe you could shed some light on that. But thoughts on this Trae Young prop and this matchup overall? Can they make a total high enough?
Yeah, love the prop angle here. Just played the 8.5 assists over myself and joined Joe on that look. The total is going to go higher in this. We're already seeing 256 show up on the board. That we had the highest NBA total on a price today between Jazz and Nuggets at 251.5. And then this Hawks Bulls said, hold my beer, 256 coming your way. This was also the highest total of any game last season was a Hawks Bulls matchup. So they're right back at setting the league record for the year. I don't enjoy watching the games that were 302 total points. Like that's over 6 points a minute. That's a point quicker than every 10 seconds. That's an all-star game. I don't enjoy watching that at all. But I do think the play is quite sharp. And with that much volume of scoring, you should get a high output of volume of statistics. Obviously, Dyson Daniels already ruled out for this game, so that should only put more ball handling in Trae Young's hand and put like Nickeil Alexander-Walker as more of a kick-out man. So I actually really like this a lot.
I think it's fun if you know coming in, this is exactly what you're going to get. I wasn't expecting. You know what's not fun for me? Knowing a team can play a certain style and play a lot better on defense, and then they show up and just don't care. This is like how these teams play. That's why I think it was a fun and interesting matchup, because it's like, let's just try to out-duel each other offensively and who's going to get it done. Fonseca, any thoughts on this Trae Young piece? You were on him yesterday, and this matchup once again.
I'm probably going to join I just did it officially. I just joined the assists brigade as well. I think he's gonna do that. I looked at Onyeka Okongwu as well, because he is gonna get some of these assists from Trae Young. Like he's gonna be able to score in the paint. Bulls, not necessarily the 96 Bulls as it pertains to defense in the paint. Onyeka Okongwu's PRA prop is 30.5 right now, so it's a bit high, but he has shredded them in both matchups this season. There's an 18-10 from October. That's without Trae Young, and 18-10-2. So it's exactly 30. And then when they just played each other last night, 23-7-6. So I probably will give Okongwu a look here. I don't know what's the angle yet. If it's PRA, if it's just points and rebounds, if you don't want the assist, it could be just RA. Like there's an Okongwu prop. It may just be PRA, and we'll see what happens there. But I think that'll be the beneficiary of just playing off of Trae Young, who could have a big night. And from an assist standpoint, like, I don't know. Do we think that there's ladder potential? Do we think that you can play this to 10 and 12 potentially? Do we like alts in this one is something I wonder about.
Yeah, I think the minutes piece would worry me a little bit on the ladder, just because we don't know how many he's going to play, and he's still trying to work through that. So that's the only thing I would say about the ladder. But I don't I don't see how the style of the game changes very much. I mean, the only thing is maybe Atlanta gets a little colder. Like they were an unbelievable in the entire game. They were 23 of 47 from deep. I mean, like that is blistering. They were 8 of 7 on above the break threes in the second half. 8 of 15, on above the break threes in the second half. So they were just lighting it up. Stay tuned on that matchup. Should be interesting to see if they can duplicate that high scoring offense. That'll play well for the Trae Young over. All right, Fiddle, I'm coming to you. Let's talk about Nuggets.
Yeah, love the Nuggets spot here. That's going to be my 3-star play. Nuggets -7.5. You can find that -105 available quite a few places, including DraftKings. Nuggets jumped out to this game against the Jazz at what was it, 27-3 to start the game. The Nuggets were up 20 points literally the entire game, and so they were on cruise control in this. They definitely were able to rest some guys late in the fourth quarter. So them going on the back-to-back and just Nuggets team tendency to play their guys on both ends of the back-to-back, I think this is going to be a pretty safe spot to bet into on the injury report, not coming off of a taxing game. And then also, like, they always play their guys. Jokic always plays back-to-backs. He doesn't really rest nights. And then flip that with the Mavericks, who played in a dogfight of a game with very high pace, very physical run and gun both ways against the Pelicans, where they came into the game with Cooper Flag, Klay Thompson, both questionable and actually suited up. They came in with Anthony Davis playing the first night of a back-to-back. I don't know if AD plays the second night. I don't know if Cooper Flag or Klay Thompson play the second night of a back-to-back. So I think if we're looking at the injury report here, which I mentioned earlier, is going to be key to the slate. There's major asymmetry happening. And so this line could potentially close Nuggets -6.5 if all of the guys play. It also could close Nuggets -12.5 if you get Flag and AD out of this game. So for that reason, I like backing the Nuggets in this spot, thinking that if this line were to go anywhere, it's probably just going to keep going out on the Nuggets side. And I don't know if AD is going to play the back-to-back. I don't know if Flag or Klay suit up for the second night, because they also play in Golden State on Christmas, whereas the Nuggets are at least home against the Minnesota Timberwolves. So I think the Nuggets will play their guys, and I can't say the same for the Mavericks here. So this is an injury asymmetry bet on the Nuggets -7.5.
Yeah, I love this spot. I think it only goes one direction, and that's in your favor. So I think this is a really good spot for Denver to take care of business. Fonseca, any thoughts on the Nugs and the 7.5 pending injury report with the funky scheduling for like a lot of teams? I think Fiddle laid it out right. Like the Nuggets just played 4 straight at home. Now they have to go to Dallas on a back-to-back on Tuesday. Then they come back home to host on Christmas. A lot of teams are dealing with that spot. And if you can guess right on a couple of injury reports, you may get 4 or 5 points of closing line value, as Fiddle mentioned.
Yeah, fully agree. This should be a Nugget spot. I have no issue with this at all. And I don't think Dallas is all that either. Like, I haven't bought into their recent hype, despite their recent success is a relative term, but they've looked better as of late, but I'm not fully buying into it either. So I like Denver here.
JD.
I love the spot. I think it's a great look. It already has moved from, it opened at 6.5, which I think Fiddle got personally, but he's able to still recommend the 7.5, and I'm still with him on this. I think it's a great Denver spot, and also they just kicked the shit out of the Utah Jazz. Like, they got their rest today. They don't need to rest today. They can just play tomorrow. They might even be able to rest tomorrow too. Mid game, because they're beating the Mavericks' ass so bad. So we'll see, but I do think this is a great Denver spot. They've been really rolling over teams too. And we know that Anthony Davis in particular has had some difficulty with Nikola Jokic. And that's even if AD plays. If AD doesn't play, like, good luck. They really are going to struggle defending Jokic and this Nuggets team.
Nobody on the Nuggets played 30 minutes tonight against the Utah Jazz. So that's helps when you're on a back-to-back here coming up. Jokic played 29. Jamal Murray played 27. Bruce Brown put in some extra shifts. He played 27. Cam Johnson, Spencer Jones only played 20 minutes. So yeah, they got a little bit of rest and was able to get some frustration off coming off of that beat up job the Rockets put on them on Sunday. So stay tuned there, or on Saturday, I should say. All right, let's go to the 2-star plays. Joe D, what you got?
I got Joel Embiid over 21.5 points. I love this spot for him against the Brooklyn Nets. He's slowly seen his minutes start to kind of creep up. So we saw him, obviously, when he first came back, 20 minutes, 23, 25. He's been playing over the last couple games, 30, 32, 30 again. So I think that we should see, maybe not like what we were seeing before in terms of last season in like the mid 30s or upper 30s. But I do think that we have this 30-minute floor, which is awesome for him. Now we got this matchup against the Brooklyn Nets, who have been just getting absolutely roasted by centers. Anthony Davis went over his points prop. Karl Anthony Towns destroyed his points prop in back-to-back games, really, against the Nets this season. Not back-to-back, but in the 2 games that he played. And we also saw Wemby kind of crush his points prop. So I do think this is a great spot for Joel Embiid against this Nets team, who really has struggled to defend on the interior. They're allowing a ton of points at the rim and in the paint. And that's essentially where Embiid thrives. So love the look here. And I think that the over 21.5, it's just like a little bit light given the matchup. I think that obviously both of these teams kind of play, especially Brooklyn plays at a little bit of a slower pace, so that can kind of bring it down a bit. But at the same time, the matchup is excellent for Joel Embiid. So I'm going to grab him to go over 21.5 points against the Brooklyn Nets.
Yeah, I like it too. Since Paul George has come back in the fold a bit too, he's been a positive impact. I think more impact than I thought he would make. And you know, I'm a Pacers PG guy, so I try to show love from Renaissance PG. So I don't want to kill the man, but yeah, he's been solid since coming back into the fold this season. Even though he didn't make his debut till I believe late November. So Fonseca, what do you think of this Joel Embiid play over 21.5 points? The days of Joel Embiid hanging 28.5, 29.5 looks like they may be over, but you can get him here at 21.5.
I looked at it. He's busted Nick Claxton's ass before, so
oh yeah,
that makes me feel good about that.
Hell yeah! Can I get a hell yeah?
It's always a risk given just the minutes, the distribution with Tyrese Maxey, with Paul George, with to a lesser extent VJ Edgecombe, because he kind of just fills in a role when more guys are out there. We haven't seen a ton of Embiid, Maxey, and Paul George together so far this year, so interesting to see that dynamic. And there's also the risk of like Joel Embiid just going to the locker room at any point in the game. That being said, if he plays north of 25 minutes or so, maybe not even, he might not even need that many in some instances, and they're playing through him like they tend to do when he's out there. Yeah, I have no issue with this.
Mike, any thoughts on Embiid, or can we keep rolling on the 2-star?
We can keep rolling. I think he is going to get a handful of minutes here. They should have a few nights off after this, so I like it.
Bryan Fonseca, let's go to you. Talk to me about your 2-star. Sandro Babu.
I'll give you my 3-star first since I didn't give it last time.
Oh, my bad. My fault. Oh, my God. My bad. Let's go back to the 3-star. Yeah, that's my fault, man. Let's talk about some Knicks.
Yeah, I got to listen. As Sean, as you know, and Joe, as you know, every white Knick is a cult hero in this city. There's a cult joke in there that I won't make, but it's in there. This is a family show. Tyler Kolek is the latest one in the line of Ron Baker's, and I'm not gonna go all the way back to Alexi
David
Shred.
Lee's.
David Lee was actually good. So this is, Dante DiVincenzo, obviously the latest one, but Tyler Kolek now is temporarily the toast of the town. There's a chance he starts tomorrow. Jalen Brunson is out. OG Anunoby's out. Jalen Brunson has missed 2 games this season. In both of them against the Heat, as a matter of fact. One of them was a cup game, and the other one was day after they split. One of the games, Karl Anthony Towns went nuclear for a half. Landry Shamet turned into Allen Houston for what felt like the entire game. And they started Deuce McBride, who will not be in this game because Deuce McBride is still dealing with an injury. And then it was the double big lineup. They don't really do that anymore as far as starting. And we don't even know if Mitchell Robinson's going to fully play yet. He doesn't appear like he's going to sit, but Mitchell Robinson's one of these guys you just have to monitor all the time. He may just pop up on the injury report, and he's definitely not playing back-to-backs. The other game, they started Deuce McBride. They started Landry Shamet because OG Anunoby actually got hurt in that first game against the Heat, but they went with Landry Shamet. Landry Shamet's also out with an injury. So it looks like Tyler Kolek could get his first start. I like the assists. I don't trust his scoring yet, and I'm still working through whether or not I think he's like really an NBA level backup point guard from a standpoint of real sustainability and can he hold up on defense. But he's been better lately. This is the best stretch that he's had as a pro, and the one unquestionable NBA skill that he has, because the defense is still a question mark, the shooting is still a question mark, and the consistency is still a question mark. But the one elite or potentially elite NBA skill he has is passing. And 6.5 assists is just, I think, a little bit low given how they've utilized him as a passer when he's out there. And if he does get the start, And Mike Brown is starting to play him 15, 20 minutes consistently off the bench. I think if he starts, he'll get a good amount of minutes, and he doesn't need that many minutes to get a decent amount of assists, assuming he's on the ball. So he'll have Mikal Bridges. He'll have Karl Anthony Towns, who loves going back to Minnesota. And he'll have, other guys there that can fill it up, and Jordan Clarkson, for example, and Josh Hart as a cutter. So, yeah, I love this spot for Tyler Kolek.
Yeah, I think if he doesn't start, he'll play starter minutes. I think that's either way it goes, he's going to get a ton of minutes in this spot. For those who don't know, really quick, JD, no OG, no Jalen Brunson, no Miles Bridges. He's been out for a while. No Shamet, he's been out for a while. And no Yabo as well. So there's an opportunity for Tyler Kolek here to get some really good minutes in a good spot on the road. JD, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, I don't think New York particularly cares whether they win or lose this game, given the fact that you're just sitting Brunson. So you're going to play Cat against his former team. Like, that's a given. So he's probably going to be pretty amped up. Hopefully he just doesn't get in foul trouble, but Cole looks really, really good, and he's a primary facilitating option. And I think that this is going to be a good spot where he's going to get a lot of two-man game with Cat. So I think it's a good spot for him in particular. And I think that they're just going to let him get run. Like, he's been hot, and you're either going to try to showcase him to see, can you run a team without Jalen Brunson out there? Or, you're showcasing him in case you need to package him in some sort of trade. I don't know if that's going to happen or not, but at least it's a full game, against a good defense. Give it a shot, see how it goes.
I think he can play.
Me too.
I think it's pretty clear to me that he can play if given. It's only his second year in the league. It might as well damn near be his rookie year, because we know he didn't play last year. So I think he's got something to him. He's got a little bit of juice to him. There's something about young guys that handle the rock, that are ball handle first, that always makes me a little queasy, but he seems up for it. Doesn't seem very nervous when he has the ball, seems to have the offense under control and plays exactly how Brown wants him to play. I think Tyler Kolek does have some juice to him, white boy or not.
Now, there's listen, and Anthony commented, CMC, Alec Pierce, listen, some of our white homies out there, they got some juice. And you see it in the NBA, you see it in the NFL. These Jason Williams had wiggle. You know what I'm saying? Tyler Kolek, he got to show that he can make a three every now and then consistently. But listen, Tyler Kolek, I like the way he runs in offense. I just defensively, I do wonder if Anthony Edwards is going to be on the hunt, and that'll be interesting to see how Mike Brown navigates that.
Yeah, well, that's a whole nother conversation. But yeah, the Kolek has brought a lot of energy, and it's been it's been more positive than negative when he's been on the floor for the Knicks for sure. All right, I'm staying with you, Fonseca. Give me that 2-star since I did you bogus on the 3.
No, you're good. Sandro Mamukelashvili. Here we go. All right, over 1.5 threes in the game between the Raptors and the Heat. So Jakob Poeltl's out again. He's been dealing with a back issue.
Mm-hmm.
Mamu, 4 starts this season. He has hit at least 2 threes in every single one. He was 6 for 9 last time he got the start. We're expecting him to start in this matchup. If he doesn't, he'll play pretty decent sized minutes. But he got the start against Boston a few days ago. He played 30 minutes. He was 6 of 9 for 3 in that matchup. I don't know if we're expecting that, but we are expecting some attempts. Against Milwaukee, he was a start in the game before that, where Jakob also sat 2 for 6 from 3, and he was 2 for 4 in an earlier start this year against Brooklyn, 26 minutes, and then 36 minutes against the Lakers, he was 3 for 9. So he gets him up there. I think this is a good spot for him against a Heat team that, even though it's not the offense from before, they still do want to play fast, and they're still going to generate more possessions than they typically do. So I like Mamu here to get over 1.5 threes. I think he'll space the floor. And I think if they're playing against Khalil Ware and Bam lineups, he'll have to space the floor because that's more length than the Heat typically throw out there. So, and the way Ware's been playing, he's looking like he's going to get more minutes, and they're incentivized to play him more consistently. So Mamu, threes over 1.5.
I like that, Cap. I think that's dead on. And for time's sake, we're going to keep it rolling here. Michael Fiddle, you got another side for us as your 2-star play.
Yeah, just quickly on Brian's. When Mamu hits a 3, they go, Mamu. There goes that man. And it's one of the best 3-point plugs in the NBA. My 2 stars going to be the Rockets -7 against the Clippers here. Rockets had a huge lead against the Clippers twice in their last game, and then the Clippers crawled back and got a really lucky cover. Now we have Zubac out for the Clippers, and you replace with Brook Lopez. This is a matchup nightmare, in my opinion, for the Clippers side of things. The Rockets are one of the most athletic teams in the NBA, and the Clippers just really struggle with speed and athleticism. So this is a nice matchup spot for the Rockets right here. Rockets also, despite playing on Christmas Day, that's going to be at the LA Lakers. So this is going to be a kind of settle into LA and get 2 games in 3 days right now for the Rockets, and they haven't been playing well. They had a loss against the Pelicans, part of the Pelicans' 5-game win streak. They had who did they just lose to the other night? It's like slipping my memory right now. But they've lost, I think, terrible. 2 of their last 3, and at the same time get Tari Eason back. So I expect he may.
The Kings.
Yeah, exactly. Kings in overtime. Dennis Schroeder hits the 3. So I think this is going to be a nice get up spot for the Rockets, in a spot where they have a huge matchup advantage. So I expect Rockets. I even like them on the first quarter. They're one of the best first quarter teams in the NBA. So I'd be looking first quarter. I'd be looking full game as well. I think this closes north of the 7.
Houston looked awful good against Denver the other night as well. Don't forget that game in the middle where they absolutely dismantled Denver, and KD was talking more shit than I've seen him talk in quite a while. So, yeah, the Houston Rockets, I just love the whole composition of the squad, and KD being able to just really pack folks up down the stretch. All right, let's run through these 1 stars so we can get the folks out of here and get to the king of the court. Joe Dellera, give me your 1-star play.
My 1-star play is Scotty Barnes over 13.5 rebounds plus assists. I was on this the other day, and he only had 13 against the Bucks, and I was very frustrated because he had 11 rebounds and only 2 assists. But the main reason that I like this play is obviously there's no Jakob Poeltl, which improves his rebounding ability, and then you also don't have RJ Barrett, which has helped with his being on ball, being able to dish more assists, just generally throughout this time that he's been out. So I think the game against the Bucks was a little bit of an anomaly. He scored a lot more than I was anticipating. Here, though, we have a matchup against Miami, who plays at the fastest pace in the league. So it's pretty big pace-up opportunity for him. And I also think that given that Miami gives up a lot of rebounds, in part because of the pace, and then even though they do a decent job of limiting assists, I do think that given the pace, we're going to still see a natural floor for Scotty Barnes as well. So in the 4 games he's gone without Jakob Poeltl, without RJ Barrett, he's averaging 14.3 rebounds plus assists in those matchups. And part of the thing is without RJ Barrett, he's averaging 5.2 assists compared to his full season average of 4.9 or so. So it's a little bit of an uptick as well. He's just got the ball in his hands a little bit more. So I like the combo prop here for Scotty Barnes heading into this matchup against the Miami Heat for the rebound assist at 13.5.
Michael Fiddle, give me your 1-star play, another side.
I'm going with the Washington Wizards +6 is, I think, best available in market. I would also definitely play the money line, which is anywhere from +185 to +190 out there. Second night of a back-to-back for Charlotte traveling home. I don't think LaMelo plays. So this is strictly just trying to front that news and get in before that's fully priced in. So if LaMelo doesn't play, this should go down to 4.5-ish. And so I would love to have a Wizards ticket in that spot. You could also play the under if you want to. I still don't really trust a Wizards and Hornets under because both teams are pretty high pace and couldn't put up a lot of points. So my preference is going to be Wizards money line, split up the exposure between those two for a small play, hoping to front that injury news. I also I don't mind doing a same game parlay of the under, which is at 235. With the either with the Wizards with the points or the money line.
Bryan Fonseca, 1-star, give it to me.
Real quick note on that. LaMelo did play their last back-to-back in late November, but limited minutes. And they did
and
win
then he
that
missed
game.
more time though. He's just coming off of another recent injury.
and then he
Yeah.
missed more time. Well, it was like a re-aggravation of the ankle injury because he keeps fucking hurting his ankle. So he may not play, but we'll see also. But listen, I think that's actually a decent Wizard spot too. I'm not gonna lie, even as somebody who likes the Hornets. Okay, 1 star. 1 star. Back to Heat Raptors. Khalil Ware over 1.5 threes. This is plus 160 right now. And the way he is, as Eric Spoelstra would say, 3-point hunting, as of late, I mean, I like the spot for him against the Raptors. It's kind of riding the hot hand, which is something you kind of worry about, which evidently burned me tonight with a couple of guys. But 5 of 7 against the Knicks, 6 of 7 against the Celtics. I don't think that's going to happen again in terms of the makes. But if he's going to continue to get minutes, because this is the thing with Khalil Ware, it's just minutes. And people say, hey, why doesn't Spo play him? He's putting up crazy numbers. And Spo is scarred in his defense from somebody else who put up crazy numbers in Hassan Whiteside, who wasn't that impactful. So he wants Khalil Ware to be more impactful consistently. And he's been doing much better, as he's gotten minutes. But also they're in a cold stretch. So there's still more consistency to be had there. You know what I mean? Bam got a lot of shit for his performance against the Knicks. I would submit to you, Karl Anthony Towns had 2 points for a reason. So, in just looking at how Spoelstra views these things. That being said, I think this is another spot where Khalil Ware will and should start, play 30-ish minutes. If he does that, he'll get some attempts up from 3. 1.5 is too low. Plus 160. 1.5 is not too low. That's fair. But 160 is like a very generous line that I wanted to take advantage of. So we'll do that there, banking on Khalil Ware actually getting consistent minutes. Please don't get into foul trouble, and please rotate on defense. Otherwise, Spo's going to sit your ass.
I have a few hilarious Hassan Whiteside stories I'm going to have to tell you guys another time, but that guy is
he was in Puerto Rico the year before last year. Last year might have been 2, actually.
Special guy, Hassan Whiteside. There's no doubt about that. Last couple of games for Khalil Ware, he's 11 of 14 from 3. So, ridiculous. I mean, at the very least, he'll be feeling confident and ready to get him up. So his last 3 games, he's played around that like 31, 32 minutes a night mark as well. So I like that spot from Bryan Fonseca. All right, boys. King of the Court, presented by DraftKings. Go use the Buckets NBA promo. Go get your cash and then play King of the Court with that cash that you got from Action while you subscribe to the Action Network podcast on YouTube and watched it there. So you knew the promo because you watched it on YouTube. I think I said that right. Let's go to the King of the Court. Joe Dellera, who's your man for the most points plus rebounds plus assists here on the Tuesday night?
This is a tough one. I will say that it's a massive slate, and literally everybody is playing. Like basically every team is playing. I think that there's definitely some value probably in some of the favorites, but I'll list out who I think could still maybe have a chance in this type of situation here. And I'm gonna look at Karl Anthony Towns. I think it's a good spot against his former team. He actually, the last time he played them this year, he put up he kind of had like a little bit of a dud game. He had 15 and 10, but in the one game he played them last year, which was in Minnesota, he put up 32 and 20. And I do think that, when you go back to Minnesota for him, I think, you maybe get a little bit of an opportunity you feel a little bit more, maybe a little bit more fired up there. Rebounds to me are an effort stat. And I think that, without Brunson, he's going to be leaned on a little bit more as a scorer. So I think it's worth a shot if you're trying to be a little contrarian. But I do think that in this instance, I think they actually upped the amount of bonus bets. So I do think that should change your strategy a little bit, especially with the fact that there's a lot more games. So just something to kind of consider.
Fiddle, give me your KOC on the Tuesday.
Yeah, I'll go chalk. We have a Lakers with no Luka. We have a Bucks with no Giannis. We have a Spurs with potentially no Wemby and on a minutes restriction. We have SGA on a second night of a back-to-back. I'll take Jokic. In some of these spots, I think when there's so many teams playing, there could be other people in the player pool that get cute with it. I think that's why Joe said there actually might be some value on the favorites. Jokic coming off of a game where he played less than 30 minutes, as we talked about before. Give me the PRA king to get it done.
Bryan Fonseca.
Anthony Edwards without OG Anunoby is one that really intrigues me because it does feel like a game where he can and potentially will put up a million shots and wind up with 40-something points or 40 points or 38 points or something along those lines. So I kind of like, and I might play Anthony Edwards over here because if it's going to be Mikal Bridges and he can go and find Tyler Kolek, he can go and find Jordan Clarkson, he can try to mismatch with Towns. Like there's just a lot of favorability there. And I think also I'll throw out there as an added bonus. If Khalil Ware keeps doing this, like
oh Jesus Christ!
listen.
That's why I'm taking Jokic.
Well, listen, Fiddle, you mentioned all the reasons, like it might not be this person, this scenario, this scenario. Khalil had just 28 and 19 last game, and there's no Jakob in this game. Like, if he's
I would
in
think
line,
no Jakob means that they play small, like the both teams are going to play smaller, and Spoelstra's going to match with more Bam at the 5.
Listen, Anthony Edwards is my primary, but I'm just saying I'll sniff around, see what Khalil Ware is going to do.
I will say that I think that one of the things that's interesting is I think that this one says it's like, oh, this is actually interesting. This is a tweak in the rules here. So it's this. So I think this is relevant to get into before we dive in because I just opened up DraftKings. This day they have enter to win a share of 3 million, $1 million for each of the top 3. So I do think that this changes it like slightly, and I think that like I would definitely want chalk like here, like honestly, because I don't even need to be the best. Like you got to beat me 3 times. So I like something. I'm not gonna go any more into this, but this is kind of my advice.
Let's go, Anthony. Let's get it.
Yeah, the math leans the big dogs with that added dollar amount.
I just wanted to throw out a fun one. That's all.
I got a fun one too. Go ahead. Oh, you got another one, or just where was the fun one?
Where was the fun one?
Oh, I was hoping for one that was actually fun.
Okay, I got.
I mean.
All right, I got a fun one.
Keontae. No, I'm kidding.
Hey, no, that's what I was gonna say.
Oh,
yeah.
Keontae George. That's a fun
dog.
one.
Honestly,
they're playing Memphis. Why not go get your first 40-point game of the year? He's been absolutely cooking offensively. He's averaging 27.5 points the last like 8 or 9 games. Keontae George put up a big game against Memphis, add 10 and 6, 56-57. 56-57 might get you KOC. Keontae George, that'll be my fun little dabble if you want to go off the beaten path. That's going to do it for buckets on a Tuesday night. DraftKings, the crown is yours. I got a recap for you as well, just to give you a little refresher. Bryan Fonseca, Tyler Kolek, over 6.5 assists. Sandro Mamuk, I just call him Mamu.
Mamu
over
Kelasvili.
1.5 triples. Khalil Ware over 1.5 triples is his 1 star. Then we go to Fiddle, 3 sides. Denver Nuggets minus 7.5. Banking on a little injury report. Potentially that number can get very inflated. Houston Rockets, 2 star, minus 7. Washington Wizards, 1 star, plus 6.5. Joe Dellera, Trae Young, over 30.5 points plus assists against the Bulls. Joel Embiid, over 21.5 points is the 2 star, 1 star. Scotty Barnes, over 13.5 rebounds plus assists. You heard the king of the court options. We'll get you out of here. Until next time, which is tomorrow, I'll be on the show once again with a couple of the guys. Let's get buckets, baby.